Okay, are we live? Are we live? What's going on? What's going on? Yep, yep, we live. We live. We live. We live. What's going on, y'all? It's been a minute since I came to y'all live. Hold up. Let me get my TikTok folks online as well. I just wanted to talk to y'all, man. What's going on? I just wanted to take some time to shout out to my people, see how everybody is doing. I know it's been a while since I have had a live episode. And so I decided today that I wanted to just take a few minutes to just check in and see how everybody was doing. And another major reason why I'm able to go live tonight is because I am officially back to work. I am officially back to work, but I must say, I had one of the greatest summers of my entire life. And so I was so busy, I decided to take a break from the podcast, took a break from a lot of other business things, but I still wanted to just kind of keep you all updated on what I was doing. And for those of you who follow me at all, you know, probably one of the most significant things that I did this summer was resume my swim lessons. And so appreciate all the love and support, man. It definitely did my heart well just to know that people out there rooting for you, even in your times of challenge and struggle as you learning something new. So, especially to my TikTok folks, what's going on? I got everybody on tonight at the same time. But man, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been giving me all the love and support as I go through this journey of learning to swim as an adult. So, real quick, I just wanted to jump on tonight and just share with you some things that I experienced this summer. It was a really great summer, and I learned a whole lot. And you all know I talk about finances and wealth a whole lot. And let me tell you, I do believe I have officially cracked the wealth code, and it doesn't have as much to do with money and finances as you may think. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. As a matter of fact, I got about 20 minutes and I got to be off of here. Y'all give me a quick second. I need to turn on some air because I'm getting hot. Y'all can probably see I'm already starting to sweat in here. Okay. Yeah, excuse me for that. I had to go and turn on the fan, man. It's a little bit warm up in the house. But yeah, man. So this summer, a lot of lessons learned, including the swim lessons. And let me start with the swim lessons first. I'll give you an update on that. So I just at the beginning of the summer, well, let me take you back to the beginning. So 49 years old, and I never learned how to swim. And I don't know, at some point, I just got to the place where I didn't want to allow that to be an unconquered fear in my life. So I said, you know what? And let me tell you, it was a process. I said, I'm going to learn how to swim. I'm going to learn how to swim. And it actually probably was about 2 years from the time where I first kind of said in my mind, you know what, I'm going to really do this. I'm going to really learn how to swim. It was probably about 2 years from the time that I remember first saying that to me actually jumping in the pool or signing up for swim lessons. So, like I said, I just wanted to recap my summer and share with you some lessons learned. So, first lesson is that sometimes you just have to make a decision that you're going to do a thing. And that's what I did with the swimming piece. I just made a decision like, I'm going to learn how to do this. And it was 2 years, and just through life and being busy, it was 2 years before I actually had a chance to sign up for lessons. But it started with the decision. And so I just wanted to share that with you all. Whatever you have in your heart to do, and it may seem improbable or there's a level of fear associated with it, sometimes you just have to make the decision. And that's where I did, where swimming was concerned. I just made a decision. All right, so let's fast forward. Last year was my first set of lessons. I did about 4 lessons, and they went pretty well. But last year was really about getting over the fear. And so got exposed to the water and jumped on the deep end, and that was good. But got back to work and the weather got cold, so I was just like, yo, we done with you until next summer, until this weather warms up. So I actually took a couple of months off, got back to work, and I just can't stand being cold. So, when that weather got cold and the pool water was already cold, I was just like, I'll be back next year. So this year came back around, and I said, okay, I need to get back in the pool. I got to get back in the pool. So I went and looked to sign up for some lessons, and there weren't any lessons. There weren't any lessons available for where I usually go at. And so what ended up happening, I looked up a place that I didn't even know existed really. It's about 30 minutes. It was about 30 minutes from my house. So usually, we think about convenience, but they had lessons like the very next week. And so I made a decision. It's just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I actually went and signed up for lessons at this new place. And so I was excited because you got to keep your momentum going. And so that's another thing. You got to keep the momentum going. No matter how small the action may be, you have to keep the momentum going. And so, got in those lessons, and so that worked out well. We had about 4 lessons, but what I noticed is that I wasn't as fearful as I was the first time last year around. And so that was another big lesson. Like sometimes you just kind of have to stick with something and stick with it until you get over that initial fear. And so like once I got over that fear, then it kind of became like, okay, it was like a new adventure. It's like something new to conquer in my life. And so the only thing about those lessons, it was with the group and it was only 30 minutes. And so, we couldn't do a whole lot. But here again, there was a lot that happened just from me showing up each day. And I stayed a little bit later and started practicing in the pool after the lessons was over. So I started getting in the reps and I really got committed to the whole process. So that was another thing. It's like, you got to make the decision first, but then you just have to commit to the process. Like, yo, I'm really going to do this. And so once I started staying a little bit longer and practicing a little bit more, what happened was like, it started to build my confidence. And I was like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. And so my confidence started building. So I did those lessons, and those lessons pretty much they were over. And so I still hadn't learned how to float, still working on that, and still working on how to breathe. But this was the high point for me. I went on vacation. I went on vacation with my family, and for the first time, I felt comfortable getting in the pool. And some of you all may have seen that picture. But for the first time, I felt comfortable getting in the water. And I was actually swimming a little bit, some of the stuff that I had learned. And just that alone was pretty much worth everything all of the fear and the anxiety that I had experienced prior to. Just being able to do that was worth it. And so, so as it now stands, I signed up for private lessons, and those will resume not this Saturday, but next Saturday. But it's almost like I can see sometimes, how they talk about being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just like, I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so I'm motivated now. I got some confidence. And so it's just a matter of continuing to put in the practice, continuing to put in the reps, and all those things that go along with learning something new. But, the fear of learning something new, it can be scary at first, but it's kind of exciting too, because it's just like you're conquering new territory. And that's a really great feeling. And that's how I'm feeling right now, like I'm conquering new territory. So, so here again, I appreciate all the support that you all have been giving me. Those videos have done very well. And I was a little bit hesitant because you know how we like to look all flossed and glossed, online. But I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna let them experience the whole journey with me from day one to getting in the pool the first time, to the fear of the water, to the fear of jumping on the deep end, to the water getting in my nose. And so I just wanted to share the whole journey with you all so you can be encouraged. Like whatever it is that you are working on conquering, like it's okay. It's just the natural part of life when you conquer new territory. And so that's why I wanted to be vulnerable and share the whole experience with you. So, you can kind of see me in the light, like, okay, well, he looked like he got it all together sometimes, but he don't look like he got it all together when it comes to getting in that pool. And a lot of people made jokes, not mean anything like that, but it was really fun sharing that with you all. And so I just challenge you, whatever it is that you need to conquer, go ahead and do it. Make the decision and then just take the baby steps forward. So that's where we are with swimming. So I'll keep you all updated with the private lessons. Like I said, they'll start next Saturday. But the first one was really good. I had the first one last week. And man, here's another mentorship, that one-on-one. When you got somebody who can take time with you one-on-one and just really intricately pay attention to you and give you that one-on-one attention, that is worth its weight in gold. So I highly encourage you as well. Get a mentor or a coach for whatever you're doing in every area of life. It just really makes sense. Like, get a mentor or a coach because they will cut down your learning curve exponentially. So that's been real fun and exciting. So like I said, this was a real full summer. I went to New York this summer. Some of you all may have saw some of those posts. That was an amazing trip. I went with my son and my mother. A lot of people like, well, where was your wife? Why didn't you carry your wife with you? And she had went on a trip with some friends the week before. So, she couldn't do the back-to-back. So for those of y'all who wanted to know why she didn't go, that was why. But exposure, man, I think that was the biggest lesson that I learned from New York. Just the exposure, just being able to experience that with my son. For him this was his first flight, and just for him to see what life was like above the clouds. Oh man, that was priceless. And initially, he thought that he was going to be real scared getting on the plane for the first time. But when he got up there, he was like, you know what, Dad, this isn't that bad. But it just did my heart well to see him experience life from a different perspective. And that's another lesson. Like, sometimes it's just what you're going through. It may be just to get over it. It just may be a slight shift in perspective that you need to make. And everybody who's flown before, you've had that experience where as you're going in the air, it just looks like everything is so insignificant that was so big on the ground. And so for him to be exposed to that, man, that was great. And we went to see The Lion King. Here again, another exposure experience. And we went to the Statue of Liberty. My first time going to the Statue of Liberty. That was significant for me. And put you on a little game. You got to be careful on the narrative that people sell you on things. Like, I shared my experience with a friend that I went to the Statue of Liberty. And so he was just like, yeah, it's a lot of history. He's like, did you know the Statue of Liberty was a Black woman? I was like, what you talking about, Willis? And he sent me the article. And so we had been all in, they have a museum in there. I didn't get a chance to read everything. But went and did the research with the stuff that he showed me in the Statue of Liberty. Go look it up. It's actually a Black woman. And it was supposed to really be a gift to kind of symbolize the end of slavery. And if you go and look this up, the Statue of Liberty, to show you that this is true, she actually, so the original agreement was they wanted her to have the statue to have broken chains to represent their freedom from slavery. And so, we was like, no, that's a little bit too on the edge. We don't need y'all being that out front with everything. So they went back and forth. So the guy from, I think, France who was insisting was like, nope, I want this to be on there. And the United States was like, nope, we're not doing that. So they made a compromise. It was like, okay, we'll take the shackles from off of her arms or whatever, and we'll put it around her ankles. And of course, the way that they have it set up, you can't see the base of the Statue of Liberty, but if you go and look it up, you'll see, sure enough, on both her ankles, she has a pair of shackles on there. And so there's a whole lot of history with that. But here again, you got to be real mindful, and you really got to dig into things for yourself, because you don't know if the narrative that you're being sold on something for the whole time that I even knew of the Statue of Liberty. I thought it was just a symbol of freedom for the immigrants, and not saying that it wasn't, but to know the actual history of it, I see it in a totally different light, and it just it confirmed to me. It was just like, yeah, you got to really get out there and research and know things for yourself. So that was really significant. And just the freedom part. And I talk about finances a lot, because it's not because I'm on a money grab with everything, but it's because finances and wealth. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about wealth. I got to get off here in a few minutes, but that's a part of freedom that you deserve in your life. And one of the things that I did in New York, I did a video. I'm having a challenge. It was going to be at the end of this month, but to give me a little bit more time to share it with people, I'm pushing it back to the end of August. And it's called the Activate Your Inner Wealth Challenge. And this is what I figured out. And some of this came to me through my travels. I promise you, I have cracked the wealth code, and it has way less to do with money and material assets than you may think. The wealth is really about you knowing your identity. And we've been sold, and I'm going to do some videos next week. I'm working on it now, and it's going to be called Redefining Wealth. And I think what's blocking a lot of you from being able to experience wealth is how you have defined it. Because a lot of you, quiet as kept, are way closer to wealth than you may think. You are way closer than you may think, but because you define it the wrong way, you think that wealth is way over here and you're way over there. And that's not true. And I'm not going to give you all the whole thing, but let me just say this. And you all probably have seen me. Let me see if I got the shirt in my closet. Yeah, I had this shirt made, and basically it says wealth. TikTok, can y'all see it? Wealth is in my DNA. Wealth is in my DNA. And I was reading, I won't go into the long story, but let me just say this. Wealth is more so about who you are than what you have. And during that challenge, my only purpose is to convince you of that one thing. Wealth is more about who you are than it's first about who you are at first, as opposed to what you have. We've been led to believe it's more about what you have. But if you can get the part of who you are first, and while I went to Myrtle Beach for the 4th of July, I had this chain made. I know you can't see it. It's a little, I think it has my birthstone stone on there, but it has engraved the wealth DNA, and I just wear it as a reminder of who I am. And in that challenge, we're going to redefine wealth, and I'm going to start on that next week. And I'm going to help you to shift your focus from a trying to get or trying to do mentality to make things happen, versus living from your identity, and doing from that will cause things to line up to make those things happen on your behalf. I know it may sound a little bit complicated now, but I'm telling you, this is going to change how you live your life, and we're going to redefine wealth. Let me just give y'all this little piece here. If you ever hear a definition of wealth and it doesn't include the word wellness or wholeness, it's a severely incomplete definition. If it doesn't have the words wholeness or wellness in it, it's an incomplete definition. I'm going to share more on that with you all next week. But I'm telling you, sign up for that challenge. It will change your life. The website is www.innerwealthchallenge.com. The only costs $99 to reserve your spot, and it's going to be at the end of August. I think August 28th, I believe. So early birds going on now. So definitely go ahead and reserve your spot for that. Innerwealthchallenge.com. But kind of going back to what I was saying, the whole thing about the Statue of Liberty, like this is like a big symbol of freedom. And what I realize is that one of the biggest pursuits that you should have in your life is the pursuit of freedom in every single area of your life. And we've majored on the financial part, which is a very important part, but it's not the only part. That's just one part. And so what I want to do in this challenge is expand that definition, and let's start to look at life from a more holistic perspective, and let's start pursuing true wealth, which is a level of wholeness. So man, I got so much I want to share with you, but I gotta jump off. I got another meeting I have to get on, but I'll be back live maybe, if not tomorrow, maybe Monday. So I appreciate you all jumping on, but just wanted to share those couple of thoughts with you, and just wanted to encourage you to step out in whatever fears you may be trying to avoid. Like, no, go and step up to that thing, like stepping up to a pool. And you know, it may take you a little bit of time before you get the confidence to jump in, but eventually you're going to have to take action and jump in. Even if it start on the 3-foot side, just jump in and work your way toward high levels of where you're trying to get. All right, y'all. So I got to get ready to get off here. Appreciate you all jumping on. Thank you again for all of the support with the swimming and everything. I'll keep you updated on that. And go to innerwealthchallenge.com, $99, reserve your spot. And we are going to show you how to begin living your life organically from the inside out. I got a whole lot more that I did this summer, but I don't have the time to share it with you now. But appreciate you all for tuning in, and I'll be back on sometime next week. So love y'all. Appreciate the support, and if I can be of any service to you, holla at your boy. All right, I'll see you later. And TikTok, I'll see y'all later too.